Okay, good morning, class. So today we're looking at functions, part one. Part two will cover functions and determining the equations thereof. Okay. So I'm still on my own example here out of my head because chapter 7 in this textbook only deals with in certain aspects of it. Okay. So now today we're going to look at graphs in the form of y is equal to b to the x plus q. And what type of graph is this? Y is equal to b to the x plus q. It's going to be your exponential function. Exponential function. Okay. Okay. You guys okay? You ready? So firstly, when we draw this graph, we look at the following shape. Okay. So if b is greater than 1, then the graph will be increasing. However, if b is less than 1 but more than 0, the graph is going to be decreasing. That's number one. The exponential graph has one asymptote. Okay, remember when we drew this graph using a table? And the asymptote of this graph was y is equal to q, this horizontal asymptote. The hyperbola has two asymptotes. The exponential graph has one asymptote. Okay. Secondly, we work out our x-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Let y equal 0. Okay. Thirdly, we work out our y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? X equal to 0. Then fourthly, we're going to draw a graph. Okay.
My apologies for the interruption. The following matrix, can you please come down to the upstairs conference room with your portfolios? Sierra Tegwing, Rachel Cherwa, Suzanne Wells, Chulumanku Mabalawa, Riley Lafleur, Grace Mumia, and Chloe Yuesta Palmer to report to the upstairs conference room with your portfolios. Thank you.
Okay.
Emma Rose Bebe, can you please report to the office? Emma Rose Bebe, please report to the office.
Okay. You guys ready? No? Right? There's a good sign. Right, so where do we start? Let's get an example to start off with. Hi Bob. Where's that pen? Right. People, we're going to draw the graph y is equal to 2 to the x minus 4. Y is equal to 2 to the x minus 4. Okay, just pause it quickly. Quickly. People, you guys are talking. I need to be done. Right, can we move on now? Y is equal to 2 to the x minus 4. How do I know it's an exponential graph? That's number one. The variable or the x is in the exponent. Okay, nice. You guys are showing some promise, no? You're showing that you know what's going on. People, when we start. Okay, right. Is this an increasing or decreasing graph? Increasing. Why? The b value is not positive. It will always be positive. It will be more than 1. So it's increasing. Okay. Now it has an horizontal asymptote at y is equal to -4. People, this is not your x-axis, no? This is actually your asymptote value. That's your asymptote. Okay. I just realized now some of you are always going to see that doesn't. Well, also earlier on, when we spoke about the hyperbola graph, and we speak about the shape of this graph, no? It's actually, you look at the shape here, and we think it's in 1 and 4, it's actually divided, your quadrants is divided by the asymptotes. Okay? And maybe some of you are confused about that as well. No? So that's the shape. What's the second thing we do, people? X-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Let y equal to 0. So we say 0 is equal to 2x minus 4. So what is this to us now? What is this to us now? The base is the same, yes. For the exponents to be equal. So you take it over the equal sign. So 4 is equal to 2 to the x. 2 squared, yes. So therefore, now what? Y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? X equal to 0. I forgot to bring that reference down. I think this is the third video now, or fourth video. So in the first one, we drew the parabolas. We used 2 to draw the hyperbola graph. And now we're looking at the exponential. Hyperbola here. Now it's exponential. Right, so what about right here, people? Y equals 2 to the 0 minus 4. And 2 to the 0 minus 4 is negative 3. Negative 3. You would agree with that? People, you are moving too fast. Yes. Okay, I'll give you a chance to write down. What don't you understand? Okay, now you see, when you people talk in the background, then I think I'm moving too slow, and you guys are getting bored. But in actual fact, there's other people that is being distracted by you people, man. Stop talking. Where are you guys from? What are you guys confused about? Huh? Somebody see they're confused. Okay. So now this is enough information to draw this graph. So as we know, the graph is increasing. What's your x into? So we draw now horizontal asymptote first. Remember, there's only one asymptote on the exponential curve. Okay. So it's going to cut your y-axis or your x-axis at 2 and your y-axis at -3. So freehand, as we drew the other graphs, freehand, parabolas and hyperbola, there's our graph. Okay. Your exponential graph. Okay. So let's look at questions pertaining to this graph. We'll start off with the domain. Number 2 is the range. Number 3 is where f of x is equal to 0. Number 4, where is f of x less than 0. Number 5, is this graph increasing or decreasing? There's no axis of symmetry on this graph. And let's say we shift f of x 2 units. So there I would say determine the equation if f of x is shifted 2 units up. Okay. So write that down quickly. Just write this neatly. Determine the equation okay. Just minimize this a bit if I can. We'll just check. Okay. So let's look at the domain of this graph. Remember this is going through -3 and 2. Number 1, the domain. The domain is all possible. So does this graph go to negative infinity and positive infinity on your x? You see, if I extend this here, it goes negative infinity. Extend it here, it goes to positive infinity. So, if that is the case, what do we write? Which is the element of ordinal numbers. Is there anything that x can, is there any value for which x cannot be equal to here? Which one? Sorry? Well, there's no value. Because from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity, the values exist on this graph. And 0. The graph is going there. It's going through as x equals 0. So all the values exist. So x is an element of ordinal number. Let's look at the range of this graph. What is range, people? All possible y values. Does this graph exist at negative infinity on your y? No. No. Remember, we always read from negative to positive or from left to right, from bottom to top. So we say this graph does not exist at negative infinity on your y. Where does it start existing at? Negative 4, not negative 3, negative 4 onwards. Because if you say negative 3, does this part then not exist? Can you see that, people? So it's from negative 4 onwards. Not so. So y must be, is this more than or less than 4? Negative 4. More than. So y must be more than negative 4. Can I put the equal sign under this inequality? Why you say yes? Who said no? Why you say no? There we go, well done. The graph never touched negative 4. Negative 4 is what? Asymptote. You understand? It will look like it will come very close, but will never touch. Okay. Look at number 3. Where is f of x equal to 0? For which values of x is f of x equal to 0? X is equal to 2. Okay. Take us off. Number 4. Where is f of x less than 0? Where is f of x less than 0? So if something must be less than 0, it must be below the x-axis, not so? So is this below or above? Below. Is below till which point? Till 2. X is equal to 2. So for which values, this question is normally, yeah, for which values of x is f of x equal to 0? Okay. For which values of x is f of x less than 0? So for which values of x is f of x less than 0? For x is less than 2. Is you can number 5. Is this graph increasing or decreasing? Increasing. Number 6. Now people try to take this graph into account. Okay. You take this green graph into it. You all agree that the green graph is exactly the graph we got here. Not so. So if I must move this graph 2 units up, what will happen? What do you notice about the asymptote? Also moves 2 units up. Not so. What if I say this graph is moving 2 units down? I tried to draw this graph fast because I needed to get the asymptote in this one. Okay. What if I move this graph 2 units down? What do you notice then? The asymptote also shifts 2 units down. Okay. So if we move this graph 2 units up, okay, and in my what's the name video, in the description box, you can see that I used the graphing program. Okay, you can see how the graph actually moves up and down. But if this graph moves 2 units up, then that means to say the asymptote also moves 2 units up. So if you look at this graph here, this now is going to become positive. Negative 2. So how do we get from negative 4 to negative 2? We added 2. So in other words, determine the equation of f of x. Determine the equation if f of x is shifted 2 units up. So the equation is y is equal to 2x minus 4 plus 2, which is 2x minus 2. Okay. So what if we said determine the equation if f of x is shifted 5 units up? Then what do I do then? I say 2x minus 4 plus 1. If the graph moves 5 units down, then what do I say? Q of x, 2 to the x, minus 4, minus 5, which is 2 to the x, minus 9. And so on. And so on. Graph moves up, we plus whatever amount of units on the graph. The graph moves down, I subtract the amount of units moves down. You guys understand? Right. One more graph quickly. Before, what time is the bell going to ring? 5 minutes. Right. Right, so let's do this quickly. What do we had y is equal to half to the x minus 8. Right, draw that graph quickly, people. Right, so where do we start? Starting with a shape. Okay, so what can we say about this graph? Decreasing. Why increasing? Why is it decreasing? Here we go. If b is greater than 0 but less than 1, it is decreasing. If b, this is b, people. No? If b is greater than 1, the graph would be increasing. Okay. You can refer to the previous lessons. We spoke about this already. Okay? That's when we use the table to draw the graph. You guys remember? Okay. What is the equation of horizontal asymptote? Y is equal to negative 8. So that is actually your negative 8 line. Okay. Then we work out our x-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Then y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to half to the x is equal to negative 8. So what do I do now? Bring 8 over the equal sign. Not something. It's 2 cubed is equal to half to the x. But the half can be written as what, people? See, the bases are not the same. The half can be written as 2 to the negative 1 raised to x. So 2 to the 3 is equal to 2 to the minus x. Therefore, 3 is equal to minus x. So x equal to negative 3. Okay. Sorry?
I said, I broke the 8 outside.
Yeah.
I said 2 is about 8.
Yeah.
And I said 2 is about x minus 1.
It can't be minus 1. Remember, if you multiply, if this is raised to higher exponent, you multiply the exponents. That's why it can't be 2 to the x minus 1. So negative 1 times x is negative x. Okay. What do you work out here after? Y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? With x equal to 0. So you say y is equal to half to the 0 minus 8, which is negative 7. People, now this is enough information to draw this graph. Okay? y is equal to negative 8 is the first thing we draw in. The graph is decreasing. So it has the x value of negative 3 and a y value of y-intercept of negative 7. The graph is decreasing, so it's coming through. Okay. Any confusion? Okay. I think I'm just going a bit fast here. So I just need to draw one more graph before the bell. Okay. Because it's the one that's not cutting the x-axis. So I don't want to do another video on this. So I'll give you homework and we'll explain again on Monday. Because I am quite aware that we are moving a bit faster now. Right. Okay, it looks like we'll have to do the video anyway. But let's answer these questions quickly. Number 1, domain. Okay, what do you do for domain? All possible x values. So x is an element of range. Range all possible y values. Okay. So what is it? Does this graph exist at negative infinity on your y? It's from negative 8 onwards. So y must be greater than negative 8. Number 3. Where is f of x equal to 0? And x, where is f of x equal to 0? X is equal to negative 3. Where is f of x less than 0? In other words, where it's lower than the y-axis or the y is equal to 0 line. It's from negative 3 onwards. So in other words, x must be more than negative. Is this graph increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. Determine the equation if f of x. Determine the equation if f of x is shifted 2 units up. So what do I say? Y is equal to a half to the x minus 8 plus 2. So it will be a half to the x minus. Okay, do you guys understand? Right. So for the next lesson, I want you guys to draw the following with the interpretation of the graphs. We got y is equal to 3 to the x minus 9. Y is equal to a ninth to the x minus 27. Y is equal to 3 to the x plus 9. And y is equal to 1 over 9 to the x plus 27. Okay, this number is pretty large here. Let's make this plus 1. Yeah, I don't want you to work with the numbers that's too big. Can somebody just turn the phone and put it in the group? People enjoy this every day and your weekend? Good morning, class. Morning, sir.